Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia, realtor with Mihara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and 813mortgage.com, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I think I said that again. And then we're having a little fun right now, and we are getting Dr. Joe Dituri on Instagram. Maybe the first time in his life. We're about to find out if we've done it. Let me get him in real quick while we start the show. Sorry, we're having a lot of fun here. All right, as my blood move, here he goes. He should be on. Can you see his? He's not popping up on the video there, Sen. We'll get him on, though. I see he joined it. So anyway, guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. We love having you listen. It's Sunday morning for you guys if you are listening to 970 WFLA. Or you know what? I forgot it might be Saturday morning because we're now on 3 different radio channels. That's right. We've been on 970 WFLA for over a decade. That's where Dr. Dituri was on previously with us. And then, oh, you need a little help with mine. And then, here we go, Sen, while you do that. See if you can get that figured out. And then he was on many years ago in the old studio. And then we got added to 105.9 FM. That's right, guys. We're also on FM. That makes us really cool. And 1250 WHNZ. So you guys check us out on one of those 3 channels. You're either listening Saturday morning, Sunday morning, or you are live on Instagram. And we're about to throw this on Facebook as well. So you all can participate. And if you have any questions, especially if you're on the old Facebook machine or the Instagram platform there, send us a question while you're listening. This is going to be a really exciting show. I've had the pleasure of knowing Dr. Dituri for, we were trying to figure that out. Like, what do you think it's like? It was before COVID.
Oh, it was
for
definitely
sure. Long time
COVID.
before that.
Six
So, I always gauge my life
like
by
that.
COVID now.
Yeah.
You know that was 5 freaking years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's insane, right?
So, and it doesn't feel like 5 years ago.
No. I don't feel 5 years older.
No, you don't look 5 years older. I think we look younger. But matter of fact, I don't think I had a beard when you and I first met. I don't know. It was that long ago.
I don't recall.
I don't know.
Good Lord. Yeah, no, I wasn't remembering stuff well back then.
But it's been a long time, and so I've been able to visit your facility and check out. Oh, there you go. Sounds like that worked. All right. Sorry, we're getting our volume set up. We've got our Instagram rocking and rolling with Dr. Dituri coming on now. Hey, listen, he can put you into a machine that can literally take you into the depths of the deep blue sea and force oxygen into your blood. But he doesn't do Instagram. That's okay.
Like the blonde hair is real, man. Come on.
It's like I had a heart surgeon one time, and we were joking. I'm like, so this guy can take your heart out of your body. He can massage it, keep it pumping, yet we can't figure out mortgages. That's okay. That's why we all are professionals. But anyway, Dr. Dituri, thank you for coming back on the show
Thank you
today.
for having me. We really appreciate being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you have a very special message that we're going to talk to everybody about here during the show. We're going to learn about you first, but I will give a little background because I hadn't seen the doc in a long time, and I'm sitting at the Lightning game with my son, and here's this dude standing all buff next to the lady, what's her name, that always does the Lightning Star Spangled Banner. I always forget her freaking name. Anyway, same lady every time sings it. And here's Dr. Dituri standing next to her on the ice. And I'm like, is that the Hyperbaric doctor? I was like, and my son's like, what's that? And I'm like, watch this. And I texted him while he was standing on the ice. I really wanted you to grab your phone is what I was trying to do.
That would have been epic, right?
I'm like, he's like, you don't know him? I was like, yes, I do. I was like, so anyway. So you responded to me later. I was like, man, you got to come back on the radio show. And that's what we're doing here today. So welcome to the Business Happy Hour.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. Sen, how's your week going?
It's going great. And I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
I mean, I think we've all kind of heard about it. I mean, it sounds like a very futuristic thing.
Right?
But yes, I want to know exactly kind of what you do, what it's all about.
We got your information. That's for sure.
I'm
we are
excited to
gonna-
get to that.
I just wrote down a question for you. Just asked something. We're going to ask him when we get into hyperbarics. We're going to find out how old is this medicine practice? Because you educated me on this back in the
I
day,
do.
so I'm a little
I
dangerous
do.
on it,
Yep.
where it started and everything. And Ksenia, we're going to do a field trip. I'm inviting myself.
Field trip.
Field trip
Field
to
trip.
the
Nice.
office. You know, he's going to stick us in a chamber and squeeze our brains. It's going to be great. No, maybe not. But it is going to. I know. He's like a mad doctor.
Scientist.
But it's going to be a great show. So you guys like and share it. Please send it out there. I'll get it on Facebook here when we get onto the break so you guys can watch it from there as well. But what all of our listeners love is Ksenia and I. She's with Mihara and Associates, one of the best real estate teams in all of Tampa Bay. You guys have over 100 real estate agents running around town showing houses and doing deals. We always do statistics. Ksenia comes in and tells us what happened, like, for example, year over year and month over month. Ray actually texted me this weekend.
Oh, you did?
With some interesting statistics. Yeah, told me a couple things about the year over year. So I might already know something.
Okay.
But go for it, Sen. What
You'll
do we
have to
got?
share, but no, we have our January numbers.
All right, here we go.
So, yeah.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah,
Drum
really.
roll, please. You know what? Let's start off with Pinellas County because I know
Okay.
you were so excited last time with December numbers because the closed sales were up and they are still up in Pinellas
Yes.
by 23.2%.
Okay.
So year over year, January.
The number of sales, January 23
Closed sales.
to 24 to 25,
Mm-hmm.
closed sales is up 23%.
In Pinellas County, yeah, it was 33.2% in December.
Oh my gosh, and it's still up.
Hillsborough County was down a little bit by 6.5%, but
Okay.
Pasco County was also up by 8.9%.
Wow, man. So of our three counties around us, 2 out of the 3, you have more homes sold, 8.9% and 23%,
Yeah.
than the previous January. I think that's majorly positive.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's a pretty good upward trend. For
That's
crying
pretty.
out
I mean,
loud.
in December, we figured, hey, because of the hurricanes,
Right.
so maybe some properties that kind of got
Hold
pushed
over.
off, so I wasn't really sure how January was going to work out. But no, that's great. So good for Pinellas County. I think that just means that, hey, things are, moving along. Prices are down just a bit.
Okay.
Hillsborough County, we're down 1%. So median sale price is $415,000. Pinellas County, it's down 4.4%. And again, I do think that also factors in some of the hurricanes. So maybe damaged homes,
yeah.
some people that are, just kind of getting rid of them and, taking, the price cuts and doing what they got to do to get them sold. But still, nothing drastic.
Is Pasco going to save us?
Pasco is down 2.1%. But I mean, overall, we're only down 1.3%.
So, yeah, okay, very good point. And by the way, guys, 4.4, 1, and 2.1, those are negligible. I mean, those are all within the negotiation range, right? And when you're asking for seller concessions, just as an example, the FHA program gives 6% in seller concessions. So what does that mean?
wow.
Right? What does that mean to a layman? If you're borrowing or you're buying a house for $100,000, which doesn't exist, but let's say you're buying a house, I know, right? Hold on. What was the median sales price again?
In Hillsborough County, 415,000. Pinellas is 435.
Okay, so let's go 400. You got a 400,000 and you're getting 6% seller concessions. That means the seller's giving you $24,000, right? 4% would be $16,000. That is in the range of negotiation. So I don't even see that as significant, really, in the drop in home prices. I mean, 1% and 2% is literally nothing.
I mean, and again, I think what we're going through right now is the correction that has been much needed.
Right.
Because of what happened and how prices really hiked up, during COVID. Like, I think what is happening right now is healthy
Right.
for the market. And I did pull, which I haven't seen it before, but because of our associations merging,
Yeah.
like now all of a sudden I'm seeing more stats or working on other things, but I've got numbers for all of Florida.
Ooh, okay.
So in all of Florida, closed sales were up 3.6% year over year. And the median sales price is up 1.2%, which in Florida, the median sale price is $410,000.
Wow.
So we're actually still a little bit higher than,
Yeah.
the combined average.
And it's interesting, Hillsborough County, Pinellas, we're very indicative of the state average. So that's very interesting.
Yes.
So Dr. Dituri, you are. I know
Enough
you,
about what I know nothing about.
Yeah, well, actually,
Let's talk about something I might know something about.
I was going to put you on the spot. I mean, do you mess with real estate at all? Do you besides just owning a home?
Not even a little bit. I own a home. I own a building, and I have really smart people take care of that stuff because that's just not my jam.
That's a great answer. That's great. And if I need anything like hyperbaric wise, I am not trying to do it myself.
Right.
There
Exactly.
you go.
You come this way, I'll go that way.
Done.
It's great. High five.
High five. Boom. So, well, I was gonna ask him how he thinks the market's doing, but if he's not in, I don't want to waste his time. What do you think?
Well, that's what we're. I want to. I guess kind of finish up and conclude with some other numbers, and this is one that we never really have.
Okay.
Or share, but it's the absorption rate.
What does that mean?
So the absorption rate, it just estimates kind of the rate at which active listings are selling.
Okay.
So investors use this to kind of see, when's a good time to sell, when's a good time to buy. Traditionally, we've been talking about inventory.
Okay.
So like month supply of inventory, 4 to 6 months supply, that's where we're getting to like the balanced market.
Okay.
So anything less is considered a seller's market, which technically it has been on paper, but it hasn't felt like that. Even in the industry, we've been calling it a buyer's market because it's just been challenging.
Right.
A lot of people sitting on the sidelines, but the fact remains that inventory is low.
Okay.
So what we are finally starting to see is that sellers are hopping off the fence. We're getting a lot more listing calls. We're getting that inventory. So the absorption rate, traditionally, if it's over 20%, that means it's the seller's market.
Okay.
So we're getting into the 20 numbers. So it's 23% in Hillsborough, 26% in Pinellas, and 25% in Pasco.
Whoa. So you're telling me tides are changing?
Which I didn't pull the year-over-year numbers, but I know last year in January, they were like in the 30s.
Right.
So that means we're getting closer to that mark, which I just think is good for the market as a whole.
I agree.
We need the inventory because the buyers that are, hopping off the fence, they need those options.
Right.
When you're ready to buy, it's not like you're going to buy all of Hillsborough. You're going to, there's a certain area that you want to be in and you need the options.
So on that note, we're going to take a break on the Business Happy Hour. We're going to be back in just a minute with Dr. Joe Dituri to learn about hyperbaric medicine. Stay tuned. All right. Everybody good? You good right now? Okay,
good.
Cool. We'll just let him get rolling. Is Joe's phone giving volume, or is that yours that I'm hearing a little
Mine
feedback?
is off.
All right, let's see. Just get your volume down a little lower or hit.
Yeah, turn it down as much as you can.
Yeah.
Like it still pops up just one little notch.
It is all the way down. How's that?
Yep.
Yep.
Better?
I'm hearing something in my
Still hearing?
in my ears. Let's see. I'll look at it for you real quick. Well,
Please, no. Look,
Samsung, you're gonna know better than me. Hello. Okay, yeah, it is this. Okay. So your volume knob is like right. Isn't this your volume here?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what it pops up when I do that. Okay, so it won't let me do that. Let's do this.
I'm pretty sure I turned the mic off. Is the mic off?
Yeah, it is. Let me see. These things are complicated.
Yeah, you would complain about me.
I know, right? Okay, let me keep testing it. Hello. What am I doing here?
Yeah, we need one of those 20-year-olds that you have.
I do.
for
I
real.
need somebody
I
to
don't
work
even
my
know how.
Instagram. Are you kidding me?
Well, we do too.
Oh, good Lord.
How the heck do I do this? Look at you. And hey, we need like one of you young Instagrammers to come over here and show us how to do this. This is like a Samsung or something like that. Let's see.
There's a bunch of old people standing around. No, okay, two old guys and a young lady standing around trying to work a phone. We can't figure it out.
All right, nope, that's a comment. We don't want to do that. Oh, Rosa, hi. Let's see. No, we don't want to mess this up. All right, yep. Get that out of here. There we go.
But yeah, I am hearing it.
Hello. You hearing that now?
Yeah.
Killed his volume button.
Frank, we got to keep going.
Okay. Frank's coming. Hello. I just don't know how to shut it off. Where's your mute? Is it this thing?
But I don't know. Be honest with you, I got no clue.
Listen,
They're going to yell. I can mess with it.
All right. That's all right. I don't think it's going to hear.
You're going to get in trouble. James is going to
It's not
come
that
in here
bad.
yelling at us.
All right.
It's quiet enough.
We're back.
We'll figure it out. What kind of phone is that? Samsung?
Samsung, yeah.
All right. We'll Google
That's
it.
why I couldn't find like the
I know.
button.
As iPhoners. All right, guys, we're ready to fire back on the business happy.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Ksenia.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. Yes, we are back in studio. Ksenia from Mihara and Associates right here, and Frank the Bank, owner of Lincoln Lending Group. Almost 25 years, guys, right here in Tampa Bay. I did not have sex with that woman. Did you get that one? That's my worst. That's my worst Clinton impersonation. But I feel like every time I go that route, I'm like, I sound like Clinton. Somebody tell me I don't. Please make me stop. All you kids at school, stop listening to that. Anyways, we are in studio with Dr. Joe Dituri. I have had the pleasure of knowing Dr. Dituri for, we can't figure it out, probably 10 years. We know it was before COVID. We got to do some hyperbaric fun stuff. We had him on the radio show. But Joe is the Assistant Vice President of Veteran Clinical Research. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Assistant Vice President of Veteran Clinical Research at USF, specializing in hyperbaric medicine.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So we're going to learn all about what the heck hyperbaric medicine is, but first, we want to learn a little bit about you.
Oh.
Like, where are you from? Where did you come from? How the heck how do you get into this medicine? Because I know
That's my question.
Oh, I just
Yeah,
stole it, right?
Oh.
It's like, yeah, I mean, where do you, like, the only time we see hyperbaric is like on the movies, right?
Right,
On
yeah.
TV or something, but I think it's real.
Well, apparently.
Saw it once in a cartoon. Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool. It was on Deadpool.
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yes, you know what? That's probably why. Yeah, we just watched it the other day.
I don't know. But tell us a little bit about you, and we'll ask all these fun questions.
So I'm a nice Italian boy from New York.
Yes.
I didn't have a lot of options when it came to going to college, so I joined the United States Navy. And 28 years later, being a diver, special operations, pressurized stuff, deep submergence, I came out and it was like, okay, now what? And, you know, I got an offer to work with Admiral McCraven. So I retired from SOCOM, got an offer to work with him on the preservation of the force and family. And we're trying to help people with traumatic brain injury and PTSD. And we were seeing it was failing. And I went back to him and I said, hey, boss, it's not working. They're talking, and the psychologists and psychiatrists are just talking, and they need to do something different. So he turns to me, looks me dead in the face and goes, permission granted, Aquanaut, go fix the problem. And I went, okay.
Now, this is when? How old were you when this was happening?
I retired from the Navy in 12.
We can't even figure out when we
13.
met. So.
I can't even figure out when we met, for crying out loud. But 12 or 13, I think I stepped out of uniform in 12 and then retired physically in 13. But it was around that time, you know, we were just having a beer at his house and just shooting the breeze. And yeah, he was like, hey, what do you want to be? And I says, well, I don't want to work for you, that's for sure. And they said, no, but can you help me with the traumatic brain injury? Because, look, 22 a day were killing themselves back then, and it's gotten even worse now. And, you know, Congress was kind of kicking his butt. And so he instituted this thing called preservation of the force and family, which was a great concept, but it was the wrong execution of the right idea, right? So they got a bunch of psychologists and psychiatrists to sit down and talk to a bunch of Navy SEALs, Navy divers, spec ops guys, whatever, and be like, really? You want to talk to me? I'm not talking to you. I don't know who you are, right?
Right.
So, you know, it was not working well. So what we needed to do was something different. So he said, permission granted, Aquanaut, go ahead and fix the problem. I'm like, I need to go back to school. So I went back to school. I got a PhD in biomedical engineering, and then I started fixing brains.
Wow.
Sen, I think he made that sound way simpler than it really is. Right?
No.
Like you skipped over a few things there, right?
Simpler but impressive, nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's wow.
Okay, but how did that translate into hyperbarics then?
So hyperbarics increases cerebral blood flow, or blood flow to the head, right? And if you go on the simple premise, and this is way simplifying it, but if you go on the simple premise that if you can increase cerebral blood flow, you can get more oxygen up there. You get more oxygen, better things happen, right? That's at least the initial premise on which we started to progress. So I said, hyperbaric medicine is kind of a natural, right? I'm a diver. It's hyper means more than, baric means pressure. So this is pretty easy. I was underwater and increase in pressure. Yeah, it's kind of the same, sort of. you know.
Now, were you already, I got to cut you off real quick. Were you already familiar with hyperbarics? Had you ever been in a chamber since you were a diver and you're an aquanaut and all that?
Yeah, so as a Navy diver, we get to go in hyperbaric chambers. We get to run hyperbaric chambers. We did medical interventions. We did, we treated decompression sickness, carbon monoxide poisoning, osteomyelitis, gaseous gangrene, all kinds of issues, and even a couple of experimental off-label treatments. We were just using it for the training aspect of it, and that was while I was in the military. And then when I got out, I was like, hey, this could be a good adjunct therapy for a lot of things. So it was like, oh, could it work for traumatic brain injury? You put it together. You're looking to decrease inflammation, decrease neuroinflammation. Yeah, these are things that are mechanism of action of hyperbaric medicine. So you think, well, that could work.
Man, okay, and so literally the guy tells you to do this. Now, did the government come in and like fund things for you after you did all this doctoring and you became a professional? And
no, so what happened was, and you've been to my facility, which is on West Shore. Was on West Shore. It's no longer there anymore.
Oh.
We got rid of it. Yeah, I mean, when I got back from being underwater for 100 days, I took the the assistant vice president job at the University of South Florida because we were looking to help more people. Now, I was trying to help a whole bunch of people underwater, a whole bunch of military guys underwater. And my idea was I'm going to treat these people in pressurized medicine or pressurized oxygen, if you will, and I'd treat a football player and a military guy side by side, and we'd just make them running mates, right? Chamber buddies, if you will. Hey, you're going to be there? I'll be there. 9 o'clock in the morning. You and I are going together, right? Don't stand me up, right? It'll make you, you're beholden to me to be there, and I'm beholden to you, right? It's like going to the gym, right? You got to go to the gym with somebody. Boom. So, so I wound up treating a total of 19 people, and I was actually patient 0. So I was the first one that I treated because, you got to make this omelet right before you can fix all the other omelets, right? So, incidentally, I don't remember if you know, but I got in a really bad car accident.
How long ago was that?
So it was 21. No, wait, 21. Wow.
Oh, so that's since we last had you on the show then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was driving my 1940s.
Actually, here, hold on.
Yeah.
Save the story because we got to go on a commercial break in less than a minute. And I don't want to get everybody too. So now we're going to tease you guys. We're going to find out about Dr. Dituri's car accident. I'm going to ask him a question. I know you probably got something for him, Sen, because you're hearing everything he's saying. But I want to make sure we ask when we get back and we hear the story about the things. Thinking in my head, like, could this be a preventative medicine as well? Oh
boy, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I got it as a note.
We got to talk.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, we're going to talk right here on the Business Happy Hour with Ksenia, Ksenia, and Frank the Bank Cotto. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you. Make sure you like and share. Don't forget, we are also a podcast on iHeartRadio. You can listen anytime. And all of these shows are now on YouTube, on the Business Happy Hour and the Frank the Bank YouTube channel. So go to the YouTube machine if you want to watch the video, if you just want to hear audio in your car, iHeartRadio. Don't forget 3 radio stations, and we're on Facebook and Instagram Live, so please share us out. And we'll be back in just a minute with more of Ksenia, Ksenia, Frank the Bank, and Dr. Joe Dituri, Hyperbaric Medicine Extraordinaire. Stay tuned. Takes me a minute to go into commercial.
Yeah, it does. Wow, you are good at that. It's like,
oh, he's so good.
Holy mackerel. I'm like, how did you, okay, you got it all lined up.
The question is, how am I not getting paid to do this, right? That's what I keep asking myself. One day, James, that's right. Send it off to somebody. He still does fight for me. He does.
So before we get in the military, then that's how they use to depressurize, for divers.
To depressurize the divers, yep. Standard
procedure?
treatment,
Okay.
yep. And it's FDA cleared for 15 indications right now. So, osteomyelitis, gaseous gangrene, carbon monoxide poisoning, the whole family, it's cold outside. They put the generator inside the house, and they succumb to
Yeah, we need to. So ask those type of like big, higher level questions, because I think the general public will follow what you're saying a little better. I mean, I know too much, so I make it too dangerous.
Have you used it?
Yeah, no, but I want to. Okay, I want to do that. I got to figure out an ailment. And we're gonna do it. Look at he's like, I could do a test on you.
We got the cure.
Young healthy
we'll
male. We will cure him.
I saw this once in a cartoon.
Yeah, it works. It really was. All right, we're ready. Go ahead, Jay.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia, realtor with Mihara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and
All
Ksenia.
right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. And today we're going entrepreneurial. We're going medicine. That's what we're doing. So Ksenia just wowed us with the statistics, which I am super excited about because I'm telling you right now, if you're a buyer, we have been telling you. Ksenia, what have we been telling them?
Gotta come by.
You got to come now. You got to do it because
go find your house, buy it, and things are going to be heating up.
I think they are. What is that fancy word that you use the first time you've ever done the statistic? The assumption or something, or what is it? Where you were saying like with the last stat you gave, where they're buying their more houses are hitting the market and it's turning into a seller's market. Oh my gosh! Now I stumped my co-host.
I'm not good at trivia things. So when I get put on the spot, I like.
It was you said
I'm drawing blanks. Here.
It was like the last thing you said where we were talking about.
I thought it was rate of assumption.
Is that what it is?
The absorption rate.
Absorption.
See?
I've never actually even brought that stat up before, but I just decided, hey, these numbers are, looking different. And
they are.
I mean, same thing for sellers too. The more inventory there is, more sellers, that's more competition.
Right.
So sellers, get your house on the market.
That's what we're trying to say, guys. Ksenia and I, we have been saying it time and time. The reason we do the stats is to show you that it's not just us making this up. And now with this new stat that we have of absorption rate. You don't want to be absorbed by the market. I keep telling people many, many times, the rates are the rates. You can refinance the rate. You need to marry the house and date the rate. If the rates go down, right? I know, I'm full of them today.
I am seeing a lot of buyers that are, they've got their head wrapped around it. And you know what? They're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready. I can handle the rate.
Yes.
When rates go down, I'll refi, but we're seeing more of that for
so
sure.
I'm going to leave us with this before we get back into full hyperbaric mode. The rates are not as high as what you're being told. I'm getting all kinds of hate mail right now online because I am telling the truth. Wells Fargo and Bank of America and the Google machine are telling you the rates are in the high sixes for a VA mortgage. For a veteran, they're telling you it's 8%. It is not true. We just locked a veteran this morning at 5.75% 30-year fixed. Oh, wow. So it's possible. You just have to work, even if it's not Lincoln Lending Group, find yourself a nice wholesale mortgage guy who will give you options, not the freaking bank, and get the low rate. You don't have to pay 6.8. So get in there, buy the house at the right price, because if you wait later in the year, the price of the house is going to be more and you can't refinance when you overpay for a house. All right. That's it. That's it. Now,
I gotta say, you are such a fun guest.
Yes.
Did you see all the dance moves?
I know.
I'm loving it.
I think we have more of these Instagram listeners. I see all the Instagram people joining probably because of Dr. Dituri, because it's just like me and you every week. So no different anomalies over here. But yes, we are doing great. So I know you were asking some questions in the break before we go into the car story.
Okay.
You were asking some questions. I think general people.
I'm curious. So you said that this is a treatment that they use when you were in the military because you're a diver. Yep. So this is to, I guess, depressurize, because I know you feel a lot of pressure when you're diving.
Right. So the basic tenet of hyperbarics is I pressurize the oxygen into you, and normally the hemoglobin in your blood transports oxygen. Right.
Right.
So in this case, I can saturate your blood so thoroughly that we don't even need the hemoglobin, throw the hemoglobin away, and the plasma can transport sufficient amount of oxygen to support cellular respiration. So basically, you don't need hemoglobin, and I can squeeze that oxygen down. Now, what does that mean? Poorly perfused tissue, or the tissue that's not very well blood can't get to it.
Right.
I can get the oxygen to that area. And oxygen's the thing that creates that adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphate thing, Krebs cycle thing, right? So it's the energy, right? So if you can get the oxygen, you can get the energy. You can get the energy, you can get healed. That's the bottom line, right?
Let the body heal
itself. I
itself,
understand
right?
energy and healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't understand?
Yep, exactly.
I didn't even know the word, but I did understand that. That made a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. How long has this been around?
First used in 1664 by a guy named Henshaw.
Did you say 1664?
What?
Almost 400 years
Oh my
old.
gosh.
That is the
What? I was not
absolute
expecting
truth.
that.
360 something years old is hyperbaric medicine, older than the United States of America. And people are touting it as the new science. I'm like, I'm not sure you know what that means, but okay, Penicillin hadn't been around that long. Come on, let's see. It's a very naturopathic cure, right? And here's the problem. There was a bunch of snake oil salesmen in the beginning that were going, hey, we're going to cure your toenail fungus. We'll cure your AIDS. We'll cure your what ails you. That's not the case, right? There are mechanisms of action, and those mechanisms of actions are known, peer-reviewed, published literature, and we know how it works now, right? Before we didn't, 200 years ago, we didn't know how it worked. We barely knew how the country worked, for crying out loud. Now we kind of got it down. I'm not sure about the country, but that's
we're working on it.
We're working on it. But yeah,
that's awesome. All right, so let's do this car. Let's go to this car story. So since you and I were on the radio together, you got in a terrible car accident?
I did. So I used to drive a 1947 Chevy, the red one.
I did.
I was coming back from a workout at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm in scrubs. I got my little clip-on ID. I had just finished the gym. I pulled out away from the light. Bam, T-bone, 9 o'clock in the morning. No alcohol involved, but there was somebody that was driving really fast down West Shore. Oh. Shame on you. And T-boned me, blew the light and T-boned me, and I woke up in the back of the ambulance. Oh. And that is not a joke. Like, I woke up, and I'm like, and the woman's like, hey, Doc, how are you? And I'm like, Doc, who are you? Where am I? Wait, who am I? I got to the hospital, and I was like, one of these, like, I can't remember much of anything. And then the guy's like, hey, no problem. I'm going to drill your head. I think you got some swelling in your brain. And I'm like, drill my head? That sounds like a bad thing. Is that good or bad, right? So 2 days in the ICU. This is September 7th of 21. 2 days in the ICU at St. Joe's. 5 days more in the hospital after that. So 7 days later, I get out of the hospital, and I'm like, holy mackerel. Now I finally started to remember who I was and what I did. And I'm like, okay, don't worry. I know how to cure traumatic brain injury, right? Yep. So the good Lord has me going this way. He says, make a right. I said, no, I got it. I'm going this way. Yeah. I said, make a right. And then he hit me with a 6,000-pound SUV and said, I said, make a right, stupid. So I had to change the way I treated traumatic brain injury because I couldn't heal myself at that point. So from September to October, I treated myself, couldn't heal myself, fell into a really deep depression. And this is why my traumatic brain injury is the best thing that ever happened to me. It's because I learned how to heal myself, and then I can push it on to others. So I took 19 military kids and football players, put them side by side, ran them through an intensive outpatient protocol where I used hyperbarics and structural energetic therapy and physical therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy and neurofeedback therapy and ice bath therapy and blah, 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 blah. All these therapies combined, right? It's the synergistic effect and the synergistic power of all those therapies combined that wound up healing me.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. And all of them are naturopathic. None of them are drug related. None of them are hooked on anything, right? As a matter of fact, we take pride. Our group takes pride. PhDs and MDs, we all take pride in fixing people without drugs and getting them off their 10, 11, 12 drugs that they're hooked on from either the VA or the NFL Players Association. They got them hooked on all these, opioids, all these steroids, all these pain relievers, all these uppers, all these down. Oh, you're tired in the morning. Let me give you an upper. Oh, you can't go to sleep at night. Let me give you a downer. Oh, you got a little pain. Let me give you No. I don't know what your problem is, but I guarantee you the fix isn't in the damn pill. Sorry.
No. You can say that. Damn pill. That is exactly what it is. And I hate I don't know if I'm using the right term, but I hate like the ADA, I think, because I feel like it pushes this type of pill mentality, and there's a pill for everything.
Oh, the FDA? Yeah.
There's a pill. It's ADA. There's a pill for freaking everything. And I've been doing a little bit of this research, going all the way back to like where it started, the Rockefellers. And, Yeah, that could be a whole radio show on how they changed our world from homeopathic medicine and natural medicines into everything based on chemicals and plastics and all this fossil fuel crap that they figured, we can develop these things and we can sell everybody on it. And then they made all the other guys snake oil salesmen when they were healing people for thousands of years.
Right.
Hyperbaric 600 ago. Woo.
Yeah, almost 400
yeah.
years ago. It's crazy. So, but the one thing that we know is if you put the body in the right position, it wants to heal itself.
Right.
That's what we know for sure. But you got to give it the right tools. You got to give it a little oxygen. You got to give it a little love. Like, when was the last time either of you took a moment, took a breath, and took care of yourself for like a week or a month? Took care of yourself. See, you want to carry all this load, right? You got the dog, the cat, the kids, the wife, the chicken, the everything on the mortgage,
yeah.
right? The mortgage, the house, I got to go cut the lawn. I got all this stuff. You can carry a lot more if you take everything off, put your pack down for like a little bit, take care of you, and then start piling stuff back on. That's what I tell all my veterans. I'm like, listen, you got to take a moment to take care of you, because your wife is going to be better off. Your kids are going to be better off. Your husband's going to be better off. Whoever's in your life is going to be better, because you're going to be better and you're going to be able to carry more.
I mean,
So true.
it is so true. I'm about to ask him the hard question. How? How do we do that?
Yeah, so like I'm curious about the technical side of this.
Yeah.
So, the NFL players, the vets. So
Yeah.
Explain to us, they come in and
Right.
then what
So at
happens?
this point, I've now moved out of that facility, and I took the assistant vice president job over at the University of South Florida, because, look, science wins over BS every time, and we need some scientific data to back this up.
Right.
Right now, we have 15 approved on-label indications for hyperbaric medicine. Let me ask you a question. What's Viagra used for?
Getting your PP up.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That's right. It's a cardiac drug. It's FDA approved as a cardiac drug. And a second order consequence of that, taking that cardiac drug, was erectile function.
What?
Yeah, but that's just so that's an off-label use of that drug. The on-label use is as a cardiac drug.
Really?
So
Okay.
as hyperbaric medicine is a medicine, there are 15 approved or on-label indications, and there are many off-label. So right now, traumatic brain injury is an off-label.
We're going to get back to the business happy hour in 1 minute, and then we're going to find out these 15 uses for hyperbaric chambers and hyperbaric medicine. Stay tuned. James, I blew that one. Hopefully you got a little room on that. Okay.
So you said 15 on label and how many off
15
label?
on-label and like 30 off-label.
All right, so last segment.
Yeah.
Let's get...
Take it home.
Yeah, anything you want. This is all you.
And we got to push
wanna,
the
yeah, we
military
need.
stuff.
We want to because you want to find more veterans, right?
Yeah, that's the God's honest truth.
All right, so let's
And then
let's
maybe at
nail
the
that.
end, I wonder if you can do a clip of the QR code.
Yeah, if there's any
Put
way
it
that we
on,
can get that QR
Put
code.
it on your
Yes.
Instagram.
Let me put it. I can share that on there right now. Let me get that. I didn't think about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Give me 15 seconds. Hold on. Let me just get this. Go for it. All right. The QR code. Let's get that pulled up. That should work.
Just put the QR code out, because nobody cares about all the writing.
Yep. So now I need to share that somehow. I think I can just hold it on the screen, but let me do it a different way.
Wait, you have two phones?
Yeah. I have to.
I can't take the one phone that I have, I'm telling you.
Yeah, if I don't have this, then okay, that might work. Let me see if that works. Share it to me.
But it is handy for like the show.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
when
it's
mine's
gotta
up
be,
here,
right,
it's like,
like
oh man, I
exactly.
can't look anything up.
There it is. Got it.
Boop.
Yeah, I have to do one for video and one for this. It's just my old phone that I use for video. I'm not that cool. All right.
I think you're there.
All right, now I can comment and I can put this on here. I think. Let's see. See, I'm not that cool at this either. Can't put a video, can't put a picture in the comments? Thought you could.
Are we on?
We're on the Instagram still, but James is gonna fire us.
Well, maybe
in 1
afterwards,
second.
just post it. on
I'll
your
post it.
page.
That's what I'll do. I'll just.
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Ksenia, realtor with Mihara and Associates.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. we're about to learn about the real mission right now that Dr. Dituri has with this hyperbaric medicine. He doesn't just do this for fun. Yes, he's helped thousands of people. He's helped heal people, including himself, which is an amazing story. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about that because
we'll chat.
I want to focus on what we're doing for the veterans, though, because I know that's a very important mission. And speaking of that, if you are watching the Instagram or the Facebook right now, I'm going to put a QR code just using my phone, very low tech. So I'll leave it up here for a few seconds while Dr. Dituri is talking. But I want you guys to scan this. That'd be a helpful thing to do. And I'll also put it in the comments when we're done. Oh, I have people telling me, hold it up to the camera. Well, there you go. Let's get it up there for you guys right now.
If you're a veteran from 18 to 75 years old, we're looking for you if you have a traumatic brain injury, any kind of a traumatic brain injury. Mild to moderate is what we're looking for. And we're looking to see if hyperbaric oxygen is going to help ameliorate your symptoms, if you will. So the overall problem with this is that, like you said, there are 15 approved or on-label indications that are FDA approved, and traumatic brain injury treatment is an off-label indication. So what we got to do as scientists is science wins over BS, right? You got to collect all this information. So we are collecting through a grant from the Florida legislature. Thank you, Speaker of the House Renner and Governor DeSantis for giving that money to the University of South Florida and the whole legislature. And now we have 38 38 PhDs and MDs on this study. I am one of many. My boss is Dr. Harry Van Loveren. He's obviously a brilliant neurosurgeon. He's running this whole study. We have psychologists, psychiatrists. We have chiropractors. Everybody's on this team. We're taking blood, urine, saliva, electrocardiograms, electroencephalograms. We're doing diffuse tensor imaging. So all the science known to man, including the gut-brain connection. We're doing thesis study and thesis analysis. So this is the largest study ever done in hyperbaric medicine, thanks to your Florida legislature. And it's all of our military veterans that have traumatic brain injury. So we bring them in, we take all that stuff beforehand, we treat them 40 times in a hyperbaric chamber, and then we analyze the data on the backside. And remember, it's a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study. So that means that some people get in the fake. Right?
What do you mean getting the fake? Like that? You don't even turn the thing on? You stick them in there?
Well, we turn it on. We have to pressurize. We have to figure all that stuff out. And they all know. They sign up for a study. You are being studied. Like you're participating in a study. And that's the way we learn, right? Because science wins over BS, and we have to get that science. Wow. Look, I don't want you wasting your money on it if it doesn't work, right? Like it's like we know some of the mechanism of action, but we don't know everything, and we don't know if it's going to work for traumatic brain injury. Now we think. But there's a big difference between I feel better and I can scientifically prove that you can get better. Those are two vastly different things.
Right.
So you said 40 times.
40
treatments. And how long is the treatment?
1 hour apiece.
1 hour apiece.
Yep. Okay. So you come in Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, and then a couple of 2 months later, you're hopefully you roll out, and hopefully your symptoms are decreased or gone.
So you're still actively doing this. That you're still bringing more people into the study.
Actively doing it right now, looking for mild to moderate traumatic brain injuries right now.
And does it have to be a recent brain injury?
No, as a matter of fact, it can't be a recent. It can't be as soon as less than a year ago, but if it's a year or greater ago, and even up to like guys from the Vietnam era, right? I mean, guys that are 74 years old that have a traumatic brain injury from way back when. And listen, what do you need to create a traumatic brain injury?
Just some shock to it, right? A hit, an explosion?
1.3 times gravitational acceleration. That
it?
is a hard stop in a car. That's to break a synaptic pathway. So if you go like this, you could have a traumatic brain injury. It just matters. Like you and I could be in the same car, and I jam hard on the brakes, and I go, oh, wow, I feel weird. And you're like, I feel fine. What's the problem? And I'm like, oh, I'm dizzy. I'm sick. I'm this. I'm that. Right? So it affects different people in different ways.
Wow.
After your car accident, you said you did the treatment. Like, did you feel, a significant, hey, this works, this helped?
I'll be quite frank with your listeners. September 7th, I was in the accident. September 14th, I got out of the hospital. By the middle of October, I was trying to treat myself, and I fell into such a deep depression. It did not work. I was truly suicidal.
Wow. Because you're like, this is what I've done. This is what I do, and it's not working.
Right, and I can't even fix myself. What kind of a guy am I, right? Like, And then I tried to do things differently. Like I said, God said, take a right.
Yeah.
So I made that right, and then we started getting the healing process going. And then by the end of December, I worked with my group of people, all the doctors, everybody involved, and we were like, holy mackerel, we got this thing. We might have it licked. And they're like, what? I'm like, we might have TBI licked. They're like, holy mackerel. So then we started the study. We started the first of the studies that February, which was incredible. We were blessed. We were fortunate. And we got a Super Bowl ring wearing MVP, first off, wide receiver, to sit side by side with a Green Beret who lost a bunch of guys in Afghanistan and had a real problem. And it wound up turning out really great.
Wow. I'm blown away. This is all. So
that was the start.
So guys, so we got to help Dr. Dituri here. We need to find you. I'm going to put that QR code. Ksenia will put it out there. We'll put it out there so you guys can scan it. They can also go to drdeepsea.com.
Sure.
Is that right? That's right. drdeepsea.com. So if you're driving around right now and you can't get to the QR code, yes, you can find it later. Don't forget, it is also on YouTube. So the QR code will be there. It'll be on Instagram. It'll be Facebook. But if you have a traumatic brain injury, especially if you're a veteran, we want you to reach out. Very important. Matter of fact, I have somebody for you. I don't know if you know a guy named Brian Chavis. Okay, you're going to know him this afternoon.
Yeah.
Perfect person. I don't know exactly but he definitely had major brain situations and stuff like that. But we're going to get you in front of him.
Look, we're looking to help people, so that's great.
Yeah. Anybody else who should call you? I mean, can the general public call you if they have some sort of issue? Or
at the University of South Florida, we're not open to anything just yet.
Okay.
However, the future plans are going to involve that. And what we will be doing, I hope.
Yeah. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock, knock. I hope that we'll be taking off-label things and bringing them to on-label, right? Like we know that it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. This hyperbaric thing is a powerful anti-inflammatory. Crohn's, a disease of inflammation of the gut. Do you think that will work?
Yep.
We just put in a $1.5 million proposal to try and get that approved so that we can do that study, right? I mean, things like that. We want to take the off-label stuff and bring it to on-label so that these people can start to take care of this naturopathic healing method and get it out to the public.
So you're doing so much different than what you were last time I had you on the show. I think Ksenia and I would love to have you back on the show.
Oh, yeah,
let's
anytime.
Get some vets, and then let's get back on and let's talk about those off-label uses and the future of hyperbaric medicine.
I love that. I would love to do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Dituri, for coming on the show. It's been a great one. Sen?
Yes, this was so much fun. You're great.
You rock.
My questions are just like racking up, though, so we definitely have to have
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking because we got 3 seconds left, and I'm never going to get to all the questions. So tune in next week. Make sure you watch this on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, YouTube and Instagram.